Check, check, check. All right, here we are. Turn that off. Listening to some incantation. Fantastic. Live, live, live. We are live. Monthly Q&A, March 2025. Craziness. All right, so we got one dude in here, 10 gauge. What's up, dude? Ogre. Sure a couple other people will pop in. But as always, welcome. Thanks for joining the live stream and hanging out and shooting the breeze with me. First and foremost, slow mode is on. It helps keep the bots away, but also helps me keep track of the chat. And with that, hey, Apocalypse Survivor, what's up, dude? Thanks for tuning in. So with that, I will get to the chat and kind of talk with everyone and answer questions, topics of discussion, and all that. But first, I'm going to answer the community post questions because I always put that out at the beginning of the month for questions, and then answer those. And then once we're done with that, we don't have that many this month. I think just a couple. And after that, we'll just free for all, shoot the breeze, hang out with everyone, talk and whatnot for about 2 hours. So then I'll go make dinner. Yeah, beautiful day out here today, about 65 degrees. Actually sunny. We're supposed to have thunderstorms tomorrow. It's supposed to hit 70 or 75 degrees, which is ridiculous. Spring is upon us. But yeah, with that, I'll talk about more about that here in a few. I'm going to answer the community post questions first, real quick. So from ACR Protect 4476, as always, thank you for the questions, dude. You always have good questions, and a couple of them. He says, "Good evening, sir. Well, it's that time of the month. Yes, it is. And neither of us are bleeding, so that's a win. I agree." First off, do I use beard oil? And if so, any particular brand? Not beard oil, but I use beard balm on occasion. My favorite is Bush Beard Balm, the Jarl. Ingredients: coconut oil, shea butter, beeswax, jojoba oil, sweet almond oil, pure apricot oil, aloe vera, vitamin E essential oils. The Jarl blend smells like fresh cut cedar wood. Fresh cut cedar. So it's got the smell of cedar. Fantastic stuff. I love this stuff. And it's just bushbeardcareco.com. Bush Beard Care Balm. This stuff is awesome. I don't use it too terribly often. Let natural oils do their thing a lot of the time, but every once in a while, that's good. And especially with the mustache getting longer with the beard and stuff, can kind of use it to sculpt and things like that, apart from, moisturize to protect the beard and stuff. So the Jarl one in particular of Bush Beard Balm is fantastic. Love this stuff. Okay, camera's going crazy there. So that was a good question. Next question. Favorite soap or body wash? And he says, yes, I'm like a 90s Joker trying to figure out the concoction for Smilex to take you out. I use stuff that's got charcoal and clay in it for natural exfoliants and stuff. Just natural ingredients. The Dove men's brand charcoal and clay stuff is actually really good. Got not even half the chemicals that most other body washes, which are really bad for you, have. So that's a win. Otherwise, organic stuff and like organic made bar soap and stuff with goat milk, oat, and then charcoal and just stuff like that. Maybe some sage or cedar wood or whatever in it. That stuff's awesome. So I like natural ingredients and stuff like that. So that's kind of stuff I use. So it's a good question, actually. I like that stuff, and it's better for you, and it's just good quality stuff, ACR Protect's last question from the community post. He's that said, who played your favorite Batman and Joker? As always, take care. Appreciate you, bud. Oh man, that's a tough one because I like a lot of the Batmans. That was one of my favorite comic book characters growing up, and like I read the comics and stuff. I mean, the Adam West Batman is classic, but like The Tim Burton, Michael Keaton Batman was fantastic. Favorite Joker, obviously Heath Ledger's fantastic. Chris Nolan did pretty good with those Batman movies. I like those. I didn't mind Val Kilmer as Batman and Batman Forever. It's very campy and just different, much prefer the Tim Burton, Chris Nolan, or the brand new Batman that came out with Robert Pattinson playing Batman in like the early years of Batman and more that noir style, kind of like Seven, but Batman. I really like that one actually, and with the comics, I like that too. So I have a few that I like. They're all good in their own stylistic ways, and just the various Batman costumes and tech and vehicles and like all that. Those are all really cool to me. So there's a few that I like. So we can't really pick an absolute favorite because I like a few of them. So, but yeah, really good question. So appreciate it, man. Thank you very much. So with that was just a couple of community post questions. So that's it. So now I can just shoot the breeze with everyone here and catch up on comments and everything. So, said hey to 10 Gauge and Apocalypse Survivor. 10 Gauge, Demo Man Don, what's up, dude? Thanks for tuning in. Practical Rifleman, thanks for tuning in. Joe Morgan, what's up, dude? Brown Coat DBH, what's up, dude? Thanks for tuning in. All right. 10 Gauge first asks, what do you think is going to happen here with how the presidency is running the show? I don't know. Hard to tell. I mean, they're in charge and they're going to make their decisions. They were elected in. I mean, it's just keep your ear to the ground and just watch and see, I guess. There's not much else people can do about it. I mean, everyone can get on their soapbox and say this and that, but it's like, hey, if you voted for him, you voted for him. This is what you get now. And, if there's something egregious, if there's enough public backlash or whatever, yeah, they may change their mind. Elected officials should be listening to the people because the people elected them and they represent the people, but ultimately they're going to do what they're going to do. So you can have some influence in it, but you're here for the ride now, just like everyone else. So yeah, nothing too crazy going on in your neck of the woods, 10 Gauge. I know you're kind of near the Canadian border, border crossing stuff. Border Patrol's got it locked down pretty good. They're actually allowed to do their job now, so that's good. Demo Man Don, where does the line start to get in this place? I mean, free for all, man. Whatever. I'll talk about just about anything, answer just about any question, man. Practical Rifleman. What's up, dude? That's funny. Oh, yeah. All that stuff with Sig Sauer, that's been interesting. Let's see. Joe Moore gets a good news, everyone. You have 2 more weeks of class and then no more class or piss place. Excellent, dude. Congratulations, man. I'm glad you're grinding away and bettering yourself and all that. I know you have a certain mindset about things anyway, and you're going to do what you're going to do, but I'm proud of you, man. I'm glad for you. So I'm glad you're being healthy. Bad news is no more midweek playing doctor. I mean, you'll probably stay in touch with her, right? 10 Gauge, he needs a grizzly long coat, winter green classic red. No, I don't like dip. Bad experience with dip in the military. Grabbed a buddy's canteen to get a sip of water and it wasn't water. He was using it as a spitter and disgusting. Cannot do it. Nope. Cigarettes are my thing of choice. So I've been smoking cigarettes and cigars for a long time. So Bronco, yeah, Adam West was laying down some pipe back in the day. Yeah. Oh yeah. Hey, he was getting after it. Legendary Batman, though. I mean, come on, you can't go wrong with the classic. Joe Morgan, first time since I have a class of drugs, dog else is good. Been over it since day one. I get it, man, but hey, keep pushing forward. Yeah, Arnold as Mr. Freeze was an interesting choice, and it was campy, it was comical, it was entertaining. There's some other individuals that would be a really cool Mr. Freeze in the future. But that's going to be with directors and the talent people and all that if they do another Batman movie anytime soon to decide that. But there would be a couple of cool picks in there for Mr. Freeze. Apocalypse Survivor, is Squatch Wash good or a bad chemical stew? I don't know. I've never tried the what is it, Doctor Squatch or whatever stuff. I've thought about it because they have a couple like the pine one. What I love pine smell, and like that. I've thought about picking up a bar soap from them because they do sell it in a local grocery store here. I may at some point. I would just they have the ingredients listed on their website and stuff. So I mean, check it out. It looks mostly natural though, so I don't know. That's buyer's discretion. It's interesting though. I'm not opposed to checking them out. Bronco DBH, like women were lining up to his dressing room in between sets. Yeah, yeah. Adam West was, and it's funny because he came out as gay, years later, decades later. But man, yeah, Adam West was a pimp back in the day. Joe Morgan, it's gonna be boring not having class Thursday. Really, just hey, keep in touch. I guess figure it out. Maybe y'all can move forward together. 10 gauge, eating popcorn, waiting for Dogman to show up in the backyard from the woods. Dogman doesn't believe in you either. All the like cryptid and mythological lore here for like the Americas and stuff is actually really interesting stuff. It's cool. I like that. It's cool. I like that stuff. Joe Morgan, you like dip? Quit chewing September, never spit. Unless it was time to flick dip out. Ugh. You get those snooze pouches. You don't have to dip anyway or spit anyway. Bronco DBH, good for him. He never had to announce he was Batman. He showed up in his bat suit and ladies lined up. Dude, he was a G. Adam West was a wild man back in the day. Yeah, Hollywood was different then. That's for sure. Joe Morgan, never really enjoyed the Batman movies. Like the Joker, well, the Batman with Heath Ledger in it. Yeah, the Chris Nolan ones were really good. Those were good. That one especially. Yeah, that was a really good one. I mean, Ledger, man, he nailed it. I mean, he suffered and paid for it, but he nailed it. It was one of the best fictional character actors, I mean, ever to grace the screen, really. Joe Morgan, soap is soap as long as it smells better every shower. I mean, yes and no. I mean, your body does absorb certain chemicals and stuff, and there's some efficacy to not using stuff with a lot of chemicals in it for your health long term. You don't need the ball cancer, or any other issues. I mean, even stuff with like deodorant with like aluminums and things like that in them, it's not great for you. So you do have to be cognizant of what you're putting on your body as much as what you're putting in your body, to what extent you care, I know you don't as much, Joe, but other people. Bronco DBH, use a Dr. Squatch, and it ran out too fast for me. You prefer big ass soap. Yeah, no. The bars are kind of small. Yeah, they seem like they go pretty quick. They seem good though. I mean, Joe Morgan, dude, Adam West was $9 bill change in 3K. Yeah, it came out later on. Yeah, Bronco DBH, you don't dip. You're going to try the Berserker caffeine pouches. Ooh, that'll get you zipping. Whoop, 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 whoop. That'll get you going. 10 gauge, are you disappointed at how winter went in your neck of the woods? Yeah, we got some snow on and off, but it wasn't nearly as much as we normally got, at least in the lower half of the state here. Further north, there was more snow consistently for accumulation. And then you had those like severe cold spurts and stuff. Like I don't mind those, but it's cooler when there's more snow on the ground. It was a weird winter. The last 2 winters have been weird, but the one before we got a lot of snow. Hopefully this when it comes around again for the season, we do get a good amount of snowfall, because there's a lot of fun to be had in the snow here. So yeah, it was a really weird winter. Still got out and did stuff, but not nearly as much as when we have like proper snow and things like that. So it was weird. Practical Rifleman, Joaquin Phoenix did a good job. For the independent Joker movie. Yeah, well, the second one that just came out was terrible, but the first one was pretty good. Yeah. Very interesting kind of a character development arc beginning, but kind of not. Like as a director said, he kind of made it as a separate film kind of in itself, but some of the origin stories there and everything. So yeah, I thought it was good. I mean, good enough. I picked it up for my collection. So and yes, I still buy DVDs. It was good enough. And actually, Grind, hey, what's up, dude? Thanks for tuning in, bro. How we doing, fam? We're doing well. How about yourself? Martin Fertusman? Yeah, fam, man. Yeah. What's up, dude? Joe Morgan. No, with loose dip, you don't have to spit it. Just pack the stuff right before you put it in. Oh, yeah, for sure. I don't know. I don't do dips, so it's not my thing. I'm a cigarettes guy. What's up, Josh? Yo, my dogs. What's up, man? Protect, attack, take naps. Camera's going crazy, dude. Light values. But yeah, ran through all that. That was good stuff. Good talk there. Good topics. Good little questions and things like that. I mean, keep firing away. Give me all you got. That burned about 15 minutes, so that's awesome. Keep firing away. Swisher Sweets, cheap. You need to get the Capone cognac dipped cigarillos. Those are nice. The Al Capone cognac dipped. So they kind of have a sugared end to the paper and stuff. Yeah, they're really good flavor to them though. Much better than Swisher. Swisher's cheap crap. And most people don't buy Swishers to smoke them normally anyway. You know, most people are buying them for other uses. Tastes good with Gatorade, huh? Huh. Learn something new every day. That must be a Florida thing. Yeah, modern Fertusa, Josh. Yeah, the Capones. Yeah, in your act from time to time. Yeah, those are great. Those are solid cigarillos. Yeah. It's good stuff. Practical Rifleman, what's the best legacy camo and why isn't it as good as yours? Ooh, man, there's a couple. So the old German oak leaf and blurred dot or blurred edge variant of oak leaf, those patterns are fantastic still. Um, and then of course US Woodland M81, you know. Um, those are definitely two of my favorites. I like Rhodesian brushstroke too, but it's very similar to Woodland and DPM. So I kind of lump those together. As far as like those larger solid block color variant kind of camouflages, Cold War era stuff. So those are definitely my two favorites by far. My camouflages take some influence from both of them, but then kind of hybridize it with some of the modern design capabilities and creativity that comes from both American and European style camouflages of modern times, whether it's Flecktarn or Dutch NFP, things like that. FRAC-T is a fractal spectral camouflage system, so the large swatch is a fractal of sorts, but it's more randomized. But it looks like a fractal at distance of a large printed yardage swatch of it in the way I have it designed. That adds greater pattern randomization, and you're getting more naturalized lines and crackling and just visual and design nuances to it like that are more effective than what are more unnatural, being human designed curves and things like that. That's part of the problem with M81 and then multicam and things like that too. It's not as natural looking. Whereas the more of the dot and fleck side of it, like with old oak leaf and some of those, there's more naturalization there. But again, some of those patterns still have kind of unnatural curvature to them and stuff. They round them out too much, and then color choice too. You know, that's part of it too. I've optimized color choices through. I did environmental study for 3 years with the design and development of my patterns to make sure that for each regional pattern and whatever multi-role application they have and things like that, they fit better to the natural soil, the environment in general, and what color variation is more natural and blends to your flora, your foliage, and light and shadow values, and other terrain nuances and things like that. So that's one of the big differentiations. Is just an advancement of uh, knowledge, design, and then the creativity with that, along with giving it a more naturalization aspect, while still being something that can be uh, multi role, multi use, uh, issuance or otherwise, as far as the camouflage design goes. So there's kind of a few nuances there. That was a really good question. I appreciate that. 10 gauge, you looking for a future new rig? No, I'm happy with my ops chest rig. That's the one I use for now until my patterns get on the market, and then if I can get a rig similar to what the ops one is in my my patterns for especially the ones that are effective for my region, I'm going to use that. Um, I'm still trying to I've been grinding out hard the last couple of weeks. Um, Ever since trademark was filed and the website went up and everything, been losing some sleep over it, but been grinding hard, reaching out to what textile companies here in the US do digital printing for my patterns to try and figure out, who's going to want to come on board. Um, Talking with a couple right now, kind of on and off. But I don't know. They seem kind of resistant to the fact that I have the camouflage brand structured as licensing, and I partner with the manufacturers and distributors, and then subsequently gear manufacturers and stuff. I have a brand guide and all that stuff to give them for the guidelines to how things are to be done, much like how Multicam does it, or even some of the other brands out there. I don't know why there's a lack of communication or some resistance from the companies. It's like, look, I'm trying to bring you more business. It's a win-win. License to print my patterns. I'm going to be sending gear companies your way, people that want to buy yardage, like all that. Like, I'm trying to support US business, support and strengthen US businesses as much as, getting mine off the ground and getting this network and facilitation of the entire logistics chain from start of production to the end result retail. I'm trying to work with all that. It is a grind. So it's just trying to find the right partners and things like that. So I have an Instagram up for the Camo brand as well now. Some of you follow it already, which I appreciate. Thank you very much. Share, repost to share your favorite camouflage pattern out of the line, because they're all posted on the Instagram, and then tag gear companies you want to see print and make products with the patterns. That's going to help in the long run. It's going to help in a lot of ways, and eventually, ideally, in the long run, to be able to get it more, get it onto the market faster and get it into the hands of people that want it. There's a lot of demand for it. I mean, I know a lot of people that want it, so it's like, okay, we got to work. We got to work to some kind of agreement here. We got to work with. I'm trying to make this as easy as possible for a partnership. Less financial strain on me. I don't have to worry about certain logistics with shipping and stuff. Then I don't have anywhere to store rolls of yardage, which costs a lot of money in the first place. I can work with direct to order with these printers, these textile mills, that the gear companies can just order it. They get it from them. They make their gear and everything. I've got the brand guide for how to do retail tags and like all that stuff. Where to put branding, fabric tags on stuff, like all that. I've got everything in the brand guide, again, just like Multicam does or anyone else. Like all that's ready to go. So it's just like, okay, which printer wants to get on board, which mill wants to get on board, or mills want to get on board, and let's work this out. Let's get this production going and get this distribution going, because there's companies out there that want this stuff. So it's like, okay, I don't know what the hold is, because I'm trying to do it make it as easy as possible for everyone, myself and anyone I'm trying to partner with. So it can be done very efficiently. It's just people agreeing to get on board. That's where I'm at right now. So communication, grinding, trying to get people on board at the starting point, and then we know people and gear companies at the end point. So it's like, okay, we gotta make this work. I don't have 50 grand for a digital textile printer. Again, I don't have storage space, shop space for rolls of printed material, and I don't have the business set up. It's a sole proprietorship. So I don't do any retail, no sellers aspects or anything. It's all IP licensing and then, branding and all that stuff. So I'm trying to make it as easy as possible. So, and as financially cognizant for everyone as possible. So kind of the status of things as they are right now. So again, go to the Instagram page, your favorite camo pattern of them, reshare it, tag gear companies, textile mills that do digital printing and stuff for textiles and stuff, tag them and be like, get this stuff, please, and we'll see what happens, Ten gauge. Well, Swisher Sweets make a hell of a joy roll. Yeah, yeah, exactly. So where cannabis is legal in various states, yeah, that's exactly why people buy Swisher. That's the only time I've seen people buy Swisher is for that purpose. Yeah. So just gave an update for the camo biz. 10 gauge. You're going to order some of the camo here shortly and do have a live field test up here in the mountains and valleys and send you videos. Hell yeah, dude. That would be awesome. I'm trying to get a printer on board right now. Right now I'm talking to Ripstop by the Roll. They're down in North Carolina. I was talking to another company out in California. I haven't heard back from them though. They're getting new printers in like 2 or 3 months. So maybe they'll get on board then, but as of right now, it's really just the one that has responded to a length or extent that it seems like they may want to get on board. But I've really got just for some reason there needs to be some other incentivization there because I haven't heard back from them since yesterday. So, but if they agree to start printing yardage in the materials that they have, which would be like your Cordura nylon for gear and stuff, and then your silicone coated polyesters, your silly poly ripstop for like ponchos, tarps, and things like that. They don't do Nyko ripstop for uniforms, oddly enough. So I'm still trying to find a company that does digital printing on Nyko ripstop, which another company in California was open to, but I haven't heard anything back since then. Because I was like, yeah, just order Cordura, ripstop, Nyko ripstop, and print it on that. So I haven't heard anything else from them, unfortunately, though. Ripstop by the Roll, though, seems like the most promising. They've been the most open and communicative. But I don't know. They just did not respond to my last email after I sent them an NDA and stuff because they wanted to see that and everything yesterday. So we'll see what happens. Tag them on Instagram, fire off a message, be like, hey, I want this pattern, I want some yardage of this pattern. Let's get it done. The more incentive there is, apart from what I'm pushing, the better it's going to be. And the quicker it can get into production. So Life Fighters Anonymous, what's up, dude? Thanks for tuning in. Where's the flag? ELD, can't confirm. New camos are dope. Dude, thank you so much. I'm glad everyone likes them. I spent a lot of time. I spent 3 years doing the environmental study and then getting the designs right, the colors and everything, in order for them to be where they are and ready to get to print. So it's just that next step. Yeah, I'm on the brand is on Instagram, Frac T Camouflage. So Frac T Camo, FRACT Camo on Instagram. The Frac T, Fractal Spectral Camouflage Systems, and then the website as well, Frac T Camo, FRAC-T Camo.com. So yeah, it's out there. So yeah, well, Life Fighters, yeah, hit up Crossfire on Instagram or email them or whatever, if they want to get on board, if we can talk with them. So they're a manufacturer. I don't think they print yardage of material. If they have a printer that they work with, and if they have digital print capability, more than happy to talk to them and start licensing and get them into print and production. But yeah, tag them. By all means, fire away. CF2 and Metalhead Scrim. Hell yeah, dude. And the Frac T. Dude, Fractee scrims would go hard, dude. They would work really well. Yeah, no, that's the thing. Vietnam contracts. I don't want to do TA production. I have too many concerns about IP theft when it comes to Southeast Asia and China. I'm trying to support and strengthen domestic production, U.S. economy, small businesses and U.S. based businesses. That's who I'm trying to work with first and foremost. Just because that's the way it should be. Also for berry compliance stuff, for potentials for possibly getting some of this stuff to USASOC or whoever in the future too, needs to be berry compliant. But for that aspect, but I would like that anyway, just to work with an entire U.S. based logistics chain, strengthen and support all these businesses here locally. Give them more income, give them more work, and everyone wins. So that's who I'm trying to work with first. I don't want to do TA production if I can't help it, unless I have a guarantee of IP protection. I was talking to one company initially right after the website went up. Ukrainian guy who's living in the United States. He's an American citizen now too. He's got a company, but all their printing of textiles was in China. And I asked him, I'm like, can you give me a guarantee of protection on all IP? Will you sign an NDA and all that? Never got back to me after that. So that just throws some red flags up in my head, in the back of my head. And I'm like, yeah, nice guy. Happy to talk with him, but that was concerning. So I was like, no, I can't work with him. I'm not going to work with international overseas, especially in Asia and stuff. Some companies in Europe, like even like Varusta Leica and Savada, because they're in majority doing in-house European production. I'll work with them because they're keeping it in-house and they're good companies. They have that Project Mega thing going on. They're trying to strengthen their businesses and keep things domestic and not rely on what has become economic warfare dealing with Asia and other places. So that's kind of the whole reason for all that. Wanted for Tuesday, get it printed on leather. Hey, that would be interesting. I don't know. How does that work with leather? I think it could potentially work. If there's a leather printer that could do that, again, it would have to be digital printing. Because rotary screen printing, you have to have a smaller swatch, and it's a repetition. It's a linear repetition of pattern, which the way mine are designed, it's more advanced, and it's a larger swatch. It's a consistent, just over 3 yards of continual pattern before there's any repetition of the pattern itself. So it's far more randomized, which has a lot more efficacy for application in the field. As well as better randomization on gear and uniforms and things like that, and then naturalization aspect too. But that means that I have to work with digital textile printers or in digital printers otherwise. So that's interesting though. I didn't even think of leather printing on leather. That's interesting. Yeah, no, yeah. Crossfire, I don't think prints their own stuff. Yeah, they're a gear manufacturer, so they order printed yardage from whatever textile mill, and then they make it. That's how most gear companies do it. So, you know, uh, yeah, that's how they do it. So that's why I'm trying to work with mills and printers right now to start trying to print material, so then gear companies like Crossfire can order it and make awesome stuff. Large and small companies, I want to support all those guys, especially U.S. companies. 10 Gauge threw it up on my Instagram. Hey, thanks, dude. Appreciate it. Tag, I mean, you got any gear companies, U.S. gear companies, proper or whoever, that you want to see start making stuff with those patterns? I mean, just let them know, because that, again, incentivization for printers, the mills, the textile printers and stuff to get on board. Yes, light fighters. Yeah, Vietnam has about 50 times more industry in textiles. There's been a big shift to Vietnam from China. There's still not much IP protection in camouflage. Exactly, it's a problem. Something can change, something small, and it's a brand new pattern. Yeah, but there's no guarantee of protection that it won't get stolen and knockoffs printed and made and things like that. So I just can't risk it. So that's for now. I need to work with U.S. companies. I need to get one licensee on board here domestically, and then off to the races. Make a rainbow pattern. You can sell it to the guys who P320s. Yeah, no, not doing that, but that's hilarious, dude. Life fighters, you are really better off beating the market with some cool shit people want all at once. Make it cool quickly. Yeah, exactly. Well, and I posted on my Instagram. So Bug Out Bushido, a homie down there in Florida for now. I designed the FL pattern in partnership with him. So it's a Florida and subtropical based pattern. He made some prototype TQ pouches and they look amazing. The pattern looks awesome on them. That is another good incentive, a visual indicator. Hey, testing and prototyping has been done. Stuff looks awesome. Let's do it. I'm a sole proprietorship. I don't have seller's permits or anything. All I do is IP licensing and branding and stuff. So it's again, partnering and licensing and partnering with the textile mills for printing, the gear companies that want to manufacture soft goods products and uniforms and stuff with the printed, patterns. I've got a brand guide for them and everything, step by step, do's and don'ts. This is what this is good to go. This is what it looks like all that stuff. Everything's ready. That's all it is. So Tactical Muff Top DJ, hey, what's up, dude? Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you. Kipper gang. I'll be doing a video on Kippers here soon. Just for you, and because you had suggested it a while back, I'm slowly getting to it. I only do about one video a week right now. Dialed it back just because I'm so busy with all this stuff. So, and the music stuff, the band stuff, and everything too. So, graphic design, all that stuff. Mushroom Power Official, thanks for tuning in. Did y'all know the youngest person who gave birth was a 5-year-old? That's not cool. Yikes. Yeesh. That's disturbing. Yeah. Radical Rifleman, Alpha Charlie, maybe a good dude to get in touch with. I've been talking with John. I've been talking with Alpha Charlie. I was like, I asked him, hey, if you know of any digital textile printers, let me know. Again, rotary screen printing is not viable for my camouflage patterns. So it has to be the other, which is more cost effective actually. So that's going to keep the price down, which is nice. So good budget gear companies can make good stuff with it, here domestically and everything. Life fighters, yeah, exactly. That I'm trying right now. That's what I'm trying to do. That's why I got to be quick with partnerships. I'm trying. I've been losing sleep with all of the grinding that I've been doing, trying to communicate, fire off emails, make calls, everything, to try and get licensees on board, get partnerships on board. I'm trying, but there's got to be more. There's got to be a more incentive there, and that agreement with whoever does want to license or potential licensees that they're okay with that model, which is more efficient anyway. But that it will work for them and that it's a win-win for everyone. I'm very reasonable about it. I'm keeping it practical. I'm going to give them a better deal than multicam is too. So, there's no protection. We agree. So they were the way faster than competition and have everything in place. Yeah, to an extent. I mean, I've got a lawyer, I've got a good legal team and everything to help with the trademark file and everything. That was costly, but it was worth it. Protections are in place, but foreign companies don't care. Foreign entities don't care. That's why IP theft is still such a problem overseas. So there's no guaranteed protection, even with the legal stuff in place, and trying to do major class action lawsuits because of IP theft and stuff. I mean, especially internationally, that is extremely expensive and a major pain in the ass. So, it's a lot of headache that just better to avoid it and support domestic production and strengthen our economy internally, while being more IP protected because everything's trademarked and copyrighted here. It would help, obviously, if you could front $1 million to get cool gear made in your pattern, then it would be a done deal. Nobody has that kind of money. You would need investors for that kind of money. I don't have that kind of money. So it's a better model just to do licensing partnership, direct to order, printed yardage, licensing contracts with the textile mills. They ship it to the gear manufacturers and uniform makers and all that stuff. Royalties percentage circulates back to me because the license pattern, and that's the licensing agreement. Same with the gear companies and stuff. It's a win-win. Less logistics headache because then it doesn't have to get shipped to me, and then I have to find space for it and then spend more shipping it again. Like, that just doesn't make sense. Plus, again, that's not the way that my business is structured, legally and formally and everything. So 10 gauge, make a pattern so the loggers who use steel can blend in with their saws. So basically just wearing blaze orange. I mean, Mushroom Power. Her name is Lena. She's 91 right now. Wow. So it was a long time ago. That's wild. I mean, times were very different and very crazy back then. Yikes. It's messed up. Lifefighters Anonymous. I got an undergrad in marketing. This is the most use it's gotten. Well, hey, man, if you want to talk anytime, I mean, you see what I'm doing. I mean, I understand. I originally went to college for international business marketing relations. It didn't really pan out. They were making me try to take a bunch of math, like calculus and stuff. I was like, I'm never going to use this. Like, no. So I dropped out the first time. Went back to college, got my advanced applied sciences degree in criminal justice and law enforcement, private sector security, which has helped with my other work. So, but yeah, marketing. I mean, I know how to market. I have some understanding of that. It's just, okay, marketing's out there, but now it's trying to get people on board, trying to get companies on board with the licensing and everything. Can a budget gear company make budget gear with your pattern? I mean, that's a goal. Again, because I'm gonna give a better deal to any licensees over like multicam or anything. So then that saves them money and they can be more cost effective in their production and everything from printing to and manufacturing retail. Or is it the small run stuff making expensive? No, I don't want it to be small run. I want it to be as accessible as possible. Working with all of the capable and applicable U.S.-based domestic textile printers, textile mills out there, so that it is accessible. That's the goal. To make it as accessible for the civilian population as much as any law enforcement that want it. If military wants a contract for it, whatever. Like, yeah, let's do it. I'm a very reasonable man with that. I'm not greedy like some companies and people out there. So I'm trying to make it as accessible and affordable as possible. I just want to see it get to the market. It's going to be nice to have a business that I can somewhat make a living off of doing it. But that doesn't mean that it should be breaking the end user, the buyer's wallet. Yeah, there's no reason for that. You're on board. You have cool patterns. Thank you. I appreciate it, man. It's just much harder to convince the world it's cool. Convince the world it's cool. I mean, well, and that's where the marketing comes in, right? And the marketing has been going well. So, and I mean, the website looks good. I've had nothing but positive feedback on the website design and everything. It's simple, good information, everything you need to know. Contact at the bottom, link to the social for marketing, like everything, I get, having that design background really helps. Just got to keep incentivizing, keep marketing and pushing. Life Fighter, nobody is going to steal it unless it's cool though, right? Hopefully you have your name established. Yeah. It's trademarked. Patterns are copyrighted. Like, all that's done. I've got all those legal protections. Everything's formal. T's are crossed and I's are dotted. It's just now it's that next step to getting licensing and manufacturing going. And that's the part I've been grinding on for the last few weeks. Marketing is out there, but now we're on to getting companies on board. That's marketing, man, just because it's business doesn't make it not marketing. Well, yeah, no, exactly. I've had good communication, like with Rip Stop by the Roll. I just haven't heard anything since the last email I fired off to him yesterday for their B2B stuff. So just got to continue. That's what I'm doing. I'm continuing to grind, email, call, all this stuff. Apart from the media marketing and stuff otherwise, which I'll be doing some official because I need to order some a little bit of yardage for myself anyway to make some promotional and marketing materials further from the testing and prototype. And that was another reason I talked to Ripstop by the Roll, but it's like, okay, I need to send you guys a couple of extra documentations, the NDA and things like that, because it is trademarked and proprietary and everything, these patterns. So, unless we go into a licensing agreement for full-on continual production, you can't do anything with the patterns after I've ordered my bit of yardage that I need. So I'm waiting on that too. That's another thing. 10 gauge. Let's get plate carriers with the shit on it and nickname it the metal head carriers. Hey, I mean, I've done some prototype design and stuff in the past. I've done product testing in the past for a couple of body armor companies and stuff. Like I have background with all that stuff, and but yeah, if a company wants to get with and make a signature piece of equipment and license to make stuff in my patterns, again, got to go with the textile printer side to make it work, and then to them, like, I'm down. Let's fucking go. I'm down for it. Yes, Light Fighters. Yeah, that's just what I said. You get some yardage printed. Give it some gear guys. It makes some shit on hand. Shit in hand out. Get some pics in it. And again, some of the prototype stuff. Bug Bushido made the TQ pouches. There's a post on the Instagram about that. It looks awesome. He was the first guy that I was working with to get some test watches done. And he did some testing because I have patterns for his area and everything. It works phenomenally. And the prototype products that he made looks great, but yeah, like I just said, I'm trying to order a little bit of yardage for myself, the 5 yard minimums, which is fine. So I can make a couple of ponchos and some other stuff, and then, potentially get some out to some people to make a couple of little items here and there, be like, hey, let's fucking go, along with more media marketing and things like that. Companies aren't going to buy a new camo. They think might flop. So it's really on you to sell the pattern, which I am. Well, multicam also went right to the military first back in 2007. And then there was a whole big lawsuit issue between CRY and the military, which people don't know. A lot of people don't know about, which is why the military prints its own OCP, which is not multicam. They are different. The patterns themselves are different. But they went to the military first to get those contracts. Again, I have some associates who are in the textile industry that do defense contract stuff. And they're working their Rolodex right now to talk with some people. So there's a potential there to get a government contract as well in starts. But I'm waiting to hear back from them. They've got the network, and we're trying to build that network and communication between myself, them, and everything else. They're helping facilitate. And they're going to be taken care of for helping with that in the future. But, it's on, they said they're on board to help. That's what they're doing. They got their Rolodex and their fingers in those things, and they're trying to do some stuff. So, it's a hurry up and wait game with them. When it comes to the civilian sector and publicly accessible gear companies and all that stuff, that's with these textile mills and a lot of the grinding that I'm doing right now too. It's for that side too. So I'm doing everything. I'm doing everything. So Um, Twin Arrows, what's up, dude? Thanks for tuning in. Life Fighters, how much is getting a big old roll made? Over $800. I would get a bit of a deal for a business account, like with Ripstop by the Roll. But again, the structure of my business, I cannot retail. I do not have the seller's permit licensing and all that stuff. My business is not set up as an LLC. It is a sole proprietorship business. I do IP licensing and stuff. So I cannot do retail of yardage legally. Now, can I order some and give it to people to do stuff with? Yes. But I'm at a net loss. I'm already working at a net loss. I'm already working in a financial deficit right now as it is, getting the company started, all the formal trademark and everything else. You know, a couple thousand in down right now until licensing can happen. So I'm trying not to put myself in too much debt here doing that. So I've got things organized and working in a way that's as efficient as possible, as financially smart as possible, and everything else in the marketing and everything else. And that's why I said earlier, like on the Instagram, your favorite camo pattern out of the line, because they're all on there. Repost it, tag textile mills, gear companies and stuff. Be like, hey, make this, please. I want this. It works for my area, all that stuff. Like that's a big part, especially nowadays. The beauty of social media and the internet in general is that wildfire spread that can happen when something is being expanded with the marketing because of social media network and things like that. It happens for a lot of businesses and individuals out there. So, it's just that process apart from the grinding that I, as a business, am doing with all of the media and marketing and everything too. So any little bit helps, 10 gauge. Well, what? 20 euros, you'd throw a few bucks in on it. Yeah, right. I appreciate it, man. As soon as I can get one of the printers to license and they start making yardage, people can direct order yardage and get it. It's the most efficient way to do it. That's not killing me financially, and it's not going to cause other logistical issues and things like that, or in the legal formal sense or anything otherwise. Yes, Multicam marketed super well to get a bunch of buzz about it, but they did military contract first because, again, Cry, a lot of spec ops guys, they have a lot of connections. They're able to talk with was it OAG or GOA or whatever, and then contract acquisition and people and all that in the government and stuff, and they worked out a contract initially. They did a lot of marketing, yeah, and I am too. They did a lot of marketing, absolutely, but they had an upper hand, or they had that network established already. Not necessarily that's an upper hand, but they had that network established already. So, and they were able to go that route initially as one of their first major successes for their brand and everything was the government contract. That backfired because of lawsuit and everything, but that's, that happened later on. 10 gauge, fucker later, DJ dinner time for the Horde. Thanks for tuning in, man. We'll talk to you later. Life Fighters, rip them off. No, I'm not going to rip anyone off. I am a reasonable man. Honesty, loyalty, duty, respect, honor, integrity, personal courage, honesty in all that you do. 800 shouldn't be hard to crowdfund from the dudes. Again, like I said, there's issues with that though. You network well, just use it to your advantage. Yep, that's what I'm doing. No shame in asking for a 20 piece for your new idea. All the boys love supporting that shit. I don't ask for anything if I don't need to. What I am asking people, again, share your favorite camo pattern, share, tag your companies and all that. Be like, let's do this. That's going to be one of the biggest helps to me. The financial support, again, doing it the smartest way possible, the most efficient way possible, so that I'm not putting myself in too much of a hole. And then once licensing and all the glorious things start happening, print and production and retail and everything else, it's going to work out a lot better. As a sole proprietorship, I take on the majority of the risk. That's just how it is. Yeah, and a lot of people do love the patterns and stuff, and that's awesome. I've had nothing but positive feedback. So let's keep that positive feedback train rolling and let it spread like wildfire, you know? Light Fighters, yeah, they snuck it in. They did great. It was just a camo pattern before it was sold and people wanted it. They were all the same. Yeah, you're not wrong there. But they were, they had the network, right place, right time, and all that. And I mean, okay, multicam does have some effectiveness to it for some areas and things like that. It's easily manufacturable. Mine are too, just in a different way with digital printing and not rotary screen, just as cost efficient and everything else. So it is what it is. I mean, mad respect to them for what they've done. Obviously, they've set a standard in a lot of ways. So it's meeting that standard, and then moving beyond that standard because I'm offering, whether it's me or a couple other camo companies out there that are kind of new on the market or whatever, offering a better product. That's more versatile, has more options, because people like options when it comes to this kind of thing, especially for regional, environmental, seasonal application and all that stuff. I've got all that, multicam has 4 patterns. Standard multicam, or OCP, for the military variant, is not a universal pattern. There's no such thing as a universal pattern. So, but they've done well. Mad respect to them. But their stuff doesn't work well in my area, and there's a lot of other areas where it doesn't work well either. So that's where other better companies and patterns fill the gaps and fill the role and can do well. Light Fighters, no, rip off their marketing. It worked and it was honest. Yeah, well, yeah, no, yeah. I mean, marketing, I'm doing everything I can. I'm doing everything I can. The social media stuff has been going well. I've been gaining on Instagram. I've been gaining like at least a follower a day. Some days more, much more. Website's doing well. I get good traffic on the website from all over the place. I do see, because I can see, on the back end, I see the stats, and there are people from China that look at my website and stuff. They're not going to get it. They ain't getting me. A lot of people from the US, people from Canada. There's been some people from Europe, Saudi Arabia. A couple of hits from Saudi Arabia I noticed in the stats. People around people around the world looking at it. So it's getting spread. It's getting out there. There's efficacy. But yeah, marketing. I mean, I need to continue with media production, marketing production, and all that stuff. Again, that's all in the works. Like I'm in those processes and continuing to do things and progress things and all that. I'm going to have Josh Wiretight. He's agreed to work on some media video production with me for the brand in the near future, and I'm very appreciative of that. And he's going to be taken care of for that, and all that. So it's a process. Media production doesn't happen overnight per se. Besides photos, the other stuff doesn't happen overnight. I need to get some more material for marketing purposes and promotional and things like that. And then otherwise from there, it's just that continual cycle and more grinding, communicating, reaching out, calls, emails, everything. I'm doing everything. So, Betty Westside, what's up? Thanks for tuning in, dude. It's been a good discussion. Live Fighters, I appreciate you jumping in and understanding marketing, which is great. I'm glad I have someone to talk to about that, and um, I'm it's not that I'm, two steps ahead or anything, but I'm on par with everything you're saying, bro. And it's good. That's good. That that shows me that I'm where I need to be and that I'm doing the right things. So that's positive. Um, Betty Westside, fire away. Any topics of discussion, questions, anything like that? I've been talking about the camo stuff for a while now. So if you wanna rewind and watch it later for that stuff, go by all means. But yeah, no, fire away. Any questions you got? Topics of discussion. That goes for anyone in here. Fire away. Nothing's really off the table. So it was a good talk. You got me talking there for a while, man. That was awesome. Burned an hour. Got an hour left in the live stream. So cheers, everyone. Keep firing away. Thank you, man. Well, which woodland version? Because I got the standard, the brown dominant woodland. I've got the HW, the heavy woodland, the RW, the rocky woodland, which I think for your area, because you're basically in the south end of Appalachia there. I got that mug at Hobby Lobby, believe it or not. So go to Hobby Lobby, you can get it. Yeah, so I think depending on the time of the year, but I think really any three of those those woodland patterns that I have are gonna work really well for your area, dude. The initial testing that's been done with test swatches and some of the prototyping and stuff, it's been great. The FL pattern down for Florida and that subtropical has been awesome. It blends in crazy well. Yeah, the standard, yeah, awesome, dude. I appreciate it. Thank you, man. And like I was telling them earlier, on Instagram, dude, that pattern, like, because I have a post of all the patterns individually. That pattern, reshare it, repost it, reshare it on your IG, and tag gear companies or whoever that you want to see make stuff with my patterns. That it's good marketing. It's quick marketing, easy, but it's more incentive for the companies to start asking about it. And I've reached out to a lot of companies, and I'm going to continue doing that. But I need to talk to the applicable textile mills that do the printing of patterns on the material. That's what I'm trying to work with right now. I was talking about that earlier. But yeah, reshare it, tag gear companies and stuff. Be like, dude, I want uniforms in this pattern, or whoever, make a chest rig with this pattern, things like that. The more that happens, the more it gets out there, and the more rapidly opportunity comes, and the more receptive companies become to being on board with it. So yeah, I'm trying to get one company right now, possibly another in a couple of months when they get their new printers in. Trying to get one company on board right now that does print. Ripstop by the Roll in North Carolina. I'm trying to get them on board. I'm waiting to hear back from them. I sent them an email yesterday with the NDA they requested and stuff. Haven't heard anything since. So the more people tag them on the social media and email them and call them and be like, hey, I want some yardage in these patterns of this camo because it's awesome and it's going to work. And, the more they hear, as well as other gear companies and stuff, the better it's going to be. I'm not trying to harass anyone. I'm being professional. I'm being prompt. I'm doing my due diligence with communication, providing what's needed, and everything else. There's got to be that demand that incentivizes them to want to produce it. So, and the demand is there. Again, I've had nothing but positive feedback and reception on everything with it, which is awesome. I expected more people to you know, talk poorly or whatever, but no, I spent a lot of time and effort to make them work um, the way that they should be, and design and everything. And yeah, it's been nothing but positive, which is that's a big morale boost for me to hear and see that. It is because I just that continues to push that want and that ability to just grind as hard as I can and everything, which I am. I'm losing sleep over it, but I have to make it work. Um, in some way or another, it's gonna work. So it's just more incentive, uh, more visibility, demand, incentivization, like all of that. I mean, it's gonna be good to go. So that's the process. A little bit of business 101 here. It's actually been really cool for a live stream. So just gotta keep at it. So um, keep firing away with comments, topics, questions, whatever. I still got just under an hour here for the live stream. So fire away, whatever you got. Oh God, yeah, that was brought up earlier by Practical Rifleman P320 stuff. Yeah, that most recent video with that very accredited weapon specialist and armorer from Special Operations and now at DHS and stuff. Whoo! It was very technical, but man, like there's some obvious issues. And then 6 hour doubling down like they are with their social media right now. Because like you see their posts on Instagram and everything, it's like, yeesh, digging a hole, man. Like might want to just stop and fix things. Uh okay, they had one lawsuit dropped that I think they've got 10 other lawsuits, waiting to happen on them. It's not great. Old Sig, love Old Sig. And then the old, 5.52, 5.53, 5.56 rifles. Love those rifles. Fantastic rifles. Um, Not a fan of the new stuff. Um, Sad to say, but Apocalypse Survivor. Oh no, the wife got home. Cue the Darth Vader music. Is there a reason that you're going to be in the dog, or you make it sound like you're going to be in the doghouse apocalypse? Hopefully, you haven't done anything to warrant being in the doghouse. Fatty, the meme you just shared in the group about it. I'll have to check that here in a little bit. One of your favorite FG episodes? FG. Oh, I'll have to check it later. I don't get the reference. Oh, Family Guy. Okay. Yeah, I'll check it later. I'll check it later when I'm done. When I'm done with the live stream here in a bit, I'll check it. That's funny. Looking forward to laughing. Yeah. Keep firing away, guys. Topics, questions, whatever. Got to be a dad now. Peace out, fellas. Hey, take care, Apocalypse. Thanks for tuning in. Hadn't seen you in a while, so I'm glad you popped in. Go forth and be a good father. Yeah, dude. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. Oh, I sounded like Peter in the Blue Harvest episodes. Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's funny. Ready to Rifleman. All right. Have a good one, dude. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you, dude. Glad you could pop in and Good questions, topics of discussion, good jokes there, man. Appreciate you, man. You have a good rest of your night. I'll probably talk to you in the group chat, but have a good weekend as well. Same to you, Apocalypse, and anyone else who dipped out. Keep firing away. Topics, questions, anything. I already answered the community post questions and all that, and spent about 40, almost 45 minutes talking about my Camo brand stuff. So rewind if you want to hear about all that and the status of things right now. Hey, that's nothing wrong with that, Apocalypse. Keeping busy, that's a good thing. I'm a very busy person myself. I feel you. if I wasn't keeping busy with all of the endeavors and everything, I would go nuts. You know, it's still the off season for my job right now, so that's why I'm full bore with the Camo brand and everything. Obviously, I mean it's a business; I got to make it work anyway. Doing graphic design commissions, music stuff, that's all going really well. There's some albums that'll be coming out soon. I'm in studio process with other ones, and all that stuff. Keeping busy. You gotta keep busy. You gotta pursue. I mean, the things that need to get done just need to get done, right? But like the things you want to pursue, the hobbies that you have, and like everything else, like fucking go after it, do it, full bore. Sitting around watching TV is not. It's not. I mean, yeah, I watch YouTube videos and like all that, but like working at home, in the interim and like all this, like I have a lot of music on a lot of the time. I mean, that just helps with the brain and being productive and things like that. And or if there's a podcast or whatever, I'll put that on or whatever it is, but still doing something apart from doing that, right? Now hobbies can be expensive and I get that too, but you know, other hobbies aren't expensive, or you may already have the facilities, the things for a hobby like that. But whatever, hobbies are important though. Even if it's drawing, being artistic and creative is good. It's good for your brain. It's good for emotional wellness. It's just good to be creative like that. I mean, drawing, painting, those are simple. You want to get into making terrain dioramas, which are badass. I mean, go for it. You want to get into Warhammer, also badass. Go for it. Whatever, You want to go bird watching? Go bird watching. Something. Fatty. Early morning teen angst metal was the playlist made for me this morning. That's funny. So it's probably some old school or like some MySpace era goodies in there and things like that too. Yeah, good evening, George Washington. Thanks for tuning in, man. Good to see you. One of the best like older like screamcore bands was from back in those times, like early 2000s, Fatty. The Bled, their album Pass the Flask. Really good album. You got to check it out. I still listen to that album every once in a while. It's a fantastic album. Also like Poison the Well, You Come Before You, Opposite of December, albums like that. I mean, Thursday and Thrice were okay bands, I was much more much more into like the metalcore side of things as far as like that kind of stuff goes, apart from black metal, death metal, and all that. Definitely old school. You loved it. Good. Add to that playlist, man. Sounds like whatever that was generated for you for a playlist, they did it right. So add to it, man. Again, The Bled, Pass the Flask, Poison the Well, You Come Before You, and then like Opposite of December or whatever. Like those early albums are great. Old metalcore bands, Embrace the End, As Hope Dies, Old Darkest Hour, Conducting from the Grave. They're much more technical for like metalcore, but really good. Yeah, all good stuff, dude. A lot of good tunes out there. George Washington, pick up some surplus French CCE tops, bottoms, and gear. Lots of it coming in to the US currently. Yeah, it is. CCE pairs well with US Woodland M81. Pairs well, pretty well with like DPM and stuff too. But I'm trying to get my camo stuff going. You know, I love CCE, and I group it in with that Cold War era camo, the Woodland camos and stuff. Um, it's a good camouflage. Works okay here as USM 81 does. It works far better than multicam here. Um, but you know what's better? Frac T camouflage, baby. I'm trying. I'm marketing. I'm grinding. I'm pushing. Just trying to get it going. Choco Chicken Nuggies. That's a great name. Thanks for tuning in. Thoughts on MARSOC potentially being disbanded? I think that's a mistake. I kind of understand them wanting to keep it like go back and keep it Force Recon, but I mean, Force Recon was always kind of Marine Corps Special Operations Unit anyway, so I think they should keep MARSOC. Um, Obviously, they have those Force Recon and those long range reconnaissance roles and things like that. It's kind of like getting rid of getting rid of their sniper stuff too that they did, and kind of going back to like the Stay platform, which Stay in a lot of ways, apart from regimental and unit snipers, kind of how we do it in the army, like having Stay and sniper guys in MORSOC, that's kind of important. You know, they're kind of a important role in there too. I think it's a bad idea that I think it's bad that they're getting rid of MARSOC. I think, especially for the smallest branch of the DoD, they have a lot of. They've been very effective, but they have a lot of potential too. I mean, and they have some specializations that they're very good at. You know, MARSOC alongside like a RRC or triple RC for the Army, regimental reconnaissance and stuff, which is another special operations unit that's kind of tied between Rangers and SOF. Um, they have a lot of capability and a lot of potential, and they're very good at working with very little. So I think they should keep them because they're a very good fighting force. I mean, I know a couple of guys that were in MARSOC, and I know a couple of old timers that were formerly Force Recon too. Solid dudes. They know their stuff. I think it's a good unit, and yeah, they shouldn't get rid of it. It's a good question, so I appreciate that. Fatty Westside. Sorry I had to stop and pick up dinner for the fam. Ooh, what'd you get? Catching up again? Check them out. Hell yeah, dude. Nice. Yeah, I'll be making dinner once I'm done with the live stream here. Figure that out later. George Washington. Can't wait to get me some lightweight Frac T standard woodland tops and bottoms. Something in a 5743 Nyko blend. Yeah, I haven't been able to find. I was talking to one company, and I said this earlier. I was talking to one company out in California that's a textile printer. They're getting new digital printers in like 2 or 3 months. I haven't really heard back anything from them in a couple of days now, but because they were asking like what's standard for ripstop material and stuff like that. I was like, go pick up Cordura Nyko ripstop, and then let's talk. Let's figure it out. Because I mean, they're going to need to pick up stock of that anyway. Or if they need me to buy some, for them for whatever reason or whatever, but like they're going to be handling printing and distribution anyway. So, but on the other end, so like Cordura nylon and stuff, for soft goods, pouches, gear, all that, and then some of the composite blend materials and coated materials for ponchos and tarps and rucksack material and things like that. I'm talking to another company right now, Ripstop by the Roll. I was talking about this earlier, so you can rewind to get the full spiel of it. Trying to get them on board the license to print the patterns on materials and basically do to order, because there's a number of people I know that make gear and a number of gear companies I know that want to get a hold of this stuff. So it's just showing that there's enough demand there, apart from more marketing and continuing the grind that I'm doing to incentivize them to want to be on board. I've been communicating with them and everything. Waiting to hear back from them from yesterday, the last one I fired off with an NDA and everything. So it's a process. So I'm trying to work it out, trying to figure it out. But, and I said this earlier, if you go to like the Instagram or wherever you are, um, like on Instagram, reshare the camouflage pattern, because I have them all. I have them all uploaded on their individual ones. The individual ones of the line of patterns. Reshare it and tag textile mills and gear companies here in the United States that you want to see make this stuff, so they can see it. Just more exposure, more better. It's a quick and easy way to do it for additional fire spreading, so to speak, and get the marketing and the networking out there and stuff. And other places like Facebook or whatever, the website, the website link, throw it out there, tag people and companies and whatever, and be like, this is awesome. We want this. The more people that say that, because I'm doing a lot of marketing on my end, and I was talking about this a bunch earlier, the more people that do that, and the more that it's seen and the more that it spreads, the more incentive and acknowledgement of demand and incentive there is to license and get on board to produce and distribute and make and retail this stuff. Choco chicken nuggies. Yeah, it doesn't really make a lot of sense, to be honest. Yeah, I agree. Do you also have an opinion on Green Berets being utilized to assist Mexican military police with bringing down the cartels? We've been doing that since the 80s. They've been down there. The Zetas cartel was started basically by a group of former Mexican special operations guys that went rogue. They raided and cleaned out their armory and bailed and started the Zetas cartel. And they were trained by Green Berets back in the day. So yeah, they've always been involved. SOF has always been involved with partnering with Mexican and Central and South American forces across the whole region in general to work on various operations, training, coalition partnerships, like all that stuff. So they've been doing it. Yeah. Betty West picked up Zaxby's and a Cobb salad. Ooh, nice. Zaxby's. It has been a long time since I've had Zaxby's. I had to think on that one for a second. Man. Yeah, I think the last time I had Zaxby's was 2008. We don't have that up here. So nice though. Good choice. Being healthy. Good man. George Washington. Sorry, camera, focus. George Washington. Love to see what Alpha Charlie Concepts could do with such material. Dude, yeah, I would too. I've been talking with John. I asked him to let me know about any textile printers, textile mills that are doing the printing and all that. But yeah, I mean, he seems like he wants to get some too. So yeah, I'm not, the whole camouflage industry, yeah, it's a competitive space, but at the same time, like, I love camouflage. I love all kinds of camouflage and stuff, and I want to support them as much as I want support, and all that. And but yeah, no, it's all. I've had nothing but good responsive feedback from everyone, which has been great. So, yeah, it would be cool to see him make like a Swamp Fox rig or whatever in the frac T patterns. That would be awesome. Choco chicken nuggies. Also, the assistance of airstrikes in the cartel operations. If it gets to that point, if that gets greenlit, cartels are in for a ride. I mean, the Mexican military does it. I mean, you've seen the videos out there of them, going minigun full send on cartels on the ground and stuff, and all that. I mean, it's not out of the question that it could be a potentiality that the U.S. would get involved doing that in the future if it gets greenlit by our government and Mexico is okay with it. There's been diplomatic talks about operational stuff like that, on the back end. So we'll see what happens. It is very possible it could happen in the future. Another good question. George Washington, I've been making calls and writing letters, brother, with the wax seal, no less. Dude, thank you so much, man. You've been so supportive, George Washington, man. Man, that's awesome. because I need to get a little bit of yardage for myself to make some marketing and promotional things and things like that. Um, you've been a top supporter, man, and I want to make sure that you get something cool out of it. Um, Apart from just being a good homie. So I'm gonna figure something out in the future for you. So because I appreciate you, man, I really do. That's awesome. Yeah, keep doing it. Like I said, Instagram, reshare your patterns, tag, whatever. I've been, I'm last couple of weeks I've been losing some sleep because I've been just till the wee hours, sending off emails, making calls every day, doing correspondence, building that network, building communication and rapport, relationships, doing all the marketing, everything. Like, yeah, it's been, just grinding, and I got to keep grinding. So that's the way it is. Fatty Westside. Okay, bro. Catch up on the replay. Glad I got to jump in for a few. Hey, I appreciate you, dude. Thanks for tuning in, Fatty. Have a good dinner and time with the fam. 762 Bank. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you. Do you think British troops should be sent to Ukraine? That's between the UK and Ukraine. That's between them. I mean, there's British expats that are there as volunteers and in an international legion and several other units. I mean, but again, diplomatically and militarily and stuff, that is between them. If Europe wants to step on that anthill, so to speak, that's their decision that they're going to make. The U.S. has made its stance known now that we're not going to send troops. Anything that's been paid for already for provision, that's continuing. They pulled the halt on that, yesterday or day before. But yeah, what European countries are going to do between them, that's their decision to make. If the UK wants to get involved like that, I mean, they need to understand the hornet's nest that they're getting into, but that's their choice to make. So I don't really have any other opinion on it besides that. I mean, it's nothing I'm going to say that's going to make them change their mind or not. So if they're going to get involved, they're going to get involved. We've seen the amount of European support to Ukraine, whether it's Germany or France or Italy or Slovakia, Slovenia, Czech Republic, Poland, whoever, all providing arms and everything else. So, I mean, it's just 1 degree of separation, between proxy conflict and direct conflict. It's a good question, though. 762 Bank. True. That's crazy because they're always kind of been on the back burner since Iraq. Yeah, to an extent. I mean, they were very active as an ISAF and coalition partner in Iraq and Afghanistan, and worked alongside the Brits a few times, and have trained with Brits otherwise, and have worked with them in the private sector too. I mean, consummate professionals. They are good at what they do. But yeah, it would be interesting to see what happens if they were to get fully involved with this outside of what they already get involved with militarily, with like the UN and stuff like that too, because they have peacekeepers in other countries too, throughout like Africa and other places. So it would be interesting to see. So we'll see what happens. I mean, it could get very ugly, or if with this ceasefire and these potential talks and stuff, if that smooths things over, I mean, they may not have to get involved like that, but we'll see. We will see. Some good questions and topics of discussion you all been bringing up today. Appreciate it. Smoke them if you got them. And as always, cheers. It's just water. Hydrate, be hydrated, and be merry. Hell yeah, cheers. Got about a half an hour left in my live stream here. I go for about 2 hours normally. Any other topics of discussion, questions, anything, just fire away. Keep them coming. This has been great. This has been a really good live stream. So I appreciate everyone that's been in here and is in here and has had great questions and everything. Stuart, yes. Skål. Glad you popped in, man. Good to see you. Awesome. Awesome. Let's see here. Substitute bank. Best trade to go into if joining the military today in terms of having a good job route for after, especially with how AI is replacing everything. Yeah, something that's, I mean, a lot of it has applicable crossover, but trade specifically, I mean, engineers and mechanics, or technicians of various kinds. So engineering and technician stuff, heavy vehicle equipment operators and mechanics and stuff, aircraft mechanics, pilots, all that is bank after the military. You can make a lot of good money with that background. There's a lot of good money to be had in a variety of jobs, though. But I mean, yeah, those are some of the ones that are really good to get into. And you learn good trade, and you being familiar with that equipment, you have a lot of good opportunities with companies that make that equipment after you get out. Oshkosh Defense, for example. So if you say you go into the Army and you drive and work on JLTVs or MATVs or whatever, the MRAPs and everything, you can go to Oshkosh Defense after and get a really good job with them, making them, maintaining them, like doing all that stuff. In a private sector, you're going to make easily three times as much, so than you would in the military. So, but you come out with that trade experience, that work experience, which is huge. So like stuff like that. But I mean, it's applicable for a lot of things across the board, really. Even infantry, military, police, security forces, like all that, like you've got opportunities afterward. But if you don't want to do that kind of work, like you've got plenty of good trades to go into. A lot of interesting stuff out there, whether it's anything from nuclear to mechanic to pilot. Cybersecurity, that's a big one too. Cybersecurity is huge too. Like anything, you got a lot of options. Stuart, what up, DJ? Been looking. Hands don't act right lately. I'm sorry to hear that, man. Hopefully, you can kind of figure that out. Not to be one of those people, but turmeric is really good for your joints. Yeah, hopefully you feel better and it starts being better for you, man. I'm glad you're here. Glad you're lurking, man. Any questions, topics, fire away. 762 Bank. True. When it comes to internals of vehicles and aircraft, nothing better than a human. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, someone has to maintain them anyway. You can get a very well-paying job at Lockheed after, or whoever, Northrop Grumman. I had an uncle who worked for Northrop Grumman for a while. He was a project manager for them for a while, or I think a contracts manager for Northrop Grumman. He enjoyed it, so it was a good job. A lot of opportunities, though, for sure. Jockey Chicken Nuggies, avionics technician. Yep. Yeah, that's a great trade to go into. I have a buddy who lives out on the West Coast. He was a Black Hawk tech, and now he's a fixed wing and rotary tech at an airport out on the West Coast, and makes really good money. So, yeah, it's a good job to get into. You make very good money, and if it's work you enjoy, if you enjoy having that kind of mechanical, if you have that mechanical inclination, and you like working with your hands and stuff, I mean, as well as doing some problem solving and stuff, like, yeah, solid. It's a solid gig. If I wouldn't have gone into the Army, I probably would have gone to the Navy. Um, I've always kind of been on boats on and off my entire life, so I don't mind being on the water and stuff. And there's a lot of good jobs in that sector too, with shipping and just some of the general engineering stuff and things like that. I mean, and nuclear technicians, man, they make a lot of fucking money working for power plants after and stuff. So, I mean, but yeah, avionics technician, dude, yeah, you can make some good money. Favorite military aircraft? Choco Chicken Nuggies asks. Ooh, modern or past? Modern favorite military aircraft? Definitely A-10. Come on, it's a flying grunt. It's my favorite. My favorite Cass baby. Um, yeah, F-22 is cool too. Despite a couple of things with them, that the pilots, you get Raptor lung or whatever. That's some with the air supply system on Raptors that affects pilots, but they're a cool ass aircraft though. F-35s are okay. I have a small air base near my place, and they fly over my place all the time. They are loud as hell, but man, they're cool. They're cool to see. Um, but yeah, A-10 definitely number one. I love the F-15, especially the modern updated version. F-16s are sick. Like I like a lot of aircraft. Apaches are cool. Um, yep. Yep. Love it, dude. A-10. Um, Old timey aircraft. I'll get to that here in a second. Stuart, figuring it out slowly. Magnesium oil seems to help. Good. Turmeric just helps everything. Yes, it does. It's true. Yeah, it's good. It's good stuff, right? Do it up. You know what's up, Stuart. I hope you get to feeling better soon, man. Yep. Chocolate chicken nuggies. Old school aircraft. Ooh. Spitfire Mark IV. Uh, P-51 Mustang, of course. I did like the BF-109s as well. Those are cool. B-25 Mitchell, very cool aircraft. Mosquito, de Havilland Mosquito, very cool. Cold War era aircraft. Ooh, man. That's a tough one. The old Osprey. F4 Phantoms are cool too. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Those are my answers. Camera. 762 Bank. Favorite weapon during your time downrange? Ooh. I have a couple. So from the military, probably my favorite was the M203, the 40 millimeter sliding underbarrel, breech load underbarrel grenade launcher was awesome. 240 Bravo was sick. Love 240 Bravo. And the Mark 48, the shortened para version of it. The SAS, M110 SAS, fantastic precision platform rifle, especially for urban warfare. On the private sector side, PKM. PKMs are sick. Ran AKs too. They're cool. Obviously, M4s are fine. M16A4. I ran the M16A4. I prefer that over the M4. But yeah, AKs are cool. PKM is awesome. Mark 19 was cool when it worked, but they had a lot of issues with the moon dust and the sand. But we had one that worked all right. Those were cool. Obviously, 40 Mike machine gun. Can't go wrong with that. Yeah, all kinds of cool stuff. When we cross train with the Bundeswehr, I really like the MG3. Probably my other favorite bell-fed platform was the MG3. Super sick machine gun. Yeah, PKM is a big boy, but it's lighter than a 240 Bravo. So it's solid. It's a great weapons platform. It really is. I enjoyed that one quite a bit. Stuart, no choice but better hands pay the bills. Yeah, exactly. Substitute Bank, to add to Nuggy's question, which of the aircraft did you experience in action during your time downrange? A lot of Apache. A lot of Apaches. A couple of times there's A-10 runs, but mostly Apaches. And then being fortunate enough on the private sector side to ride in Little Birds, which I love them too. I guess should have added that to my answer earlier. Little Birds are awesome. Those pilots are madmen, but they're the best pilots that you could ask for. A lot of Apaches though, which was cool. But Apaches are cool. Ass monkeys, baby. Yep, exactly. You know. Let's see. You ever use AK-74U? Yeah, the 545 version. Yeah, shot it a couple of times. Got my hands on a Crink for a short time. That was cool. Mostly standard AK and Serb M70 platform rifles. We had a mix of stuff: Egyptian, Romanian, Serb. Yeah, the whole mix. Yeah, ass monkeys, man. Dude, best pilots you could ask for. Absolutely. Those guys are awesome. Spent a lot of time in armored vehicles though, so but every once in a while I got to go in helicopters, which is cool. So did you ever see those guys in action? As in the Little Birds or the Apaches? Because yes, to both. Again, I got to ride the Little Birds every once in a while. Do a QRF and stuff. Yeah, binge watch many of their videos online. Yeah, dude, there's some great footage out there. I mean, not a lot, but there's some good footage out there. A lot of footage that was taken or may have been taken probably never see the light of day. But there are some good videos out there, especially the old school from the old school Blackwater days and stuff, which was before when I got into the private sector. But I mean, those guys. I mean, seeing what they were doing, seeing when those videos first came out and stuff, you know, because when YouTube first came around, being the Wild West it was and everything, and that was cool. You know, like yeah, seeing that stuff is like, damn, how do I do that? You know, you got to figure it out. They were making some really good money back then. You can still make good money in that sector, but it was, I mean, it was all cash is king back then. You know what I'm saying? So. Stuart, was doing some looking. There is a Dallas printing company called XL Digital. Maybe an option for you. I'll check them out. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'll look them up. Yeah, I looked at one out in California, Universal. I was talking with him on and off. Haven't really heard back from him in a couple of days. Yeah, a couple others. Yeah, I'll check out XL Digital. See if that's actually something that they do. Because if cool, you know, yeah, I'll hit them up. Thank you. I appreciate it. God, what is going on with the camera here? Light quality is changing outside, so the camera's freaking out. It's getting dark. 762 Bank, what were some of your favorite songs to listen to downrange? Oh man. Not really so much even just songs, but like albums. Darkest Hours, Undoing Ruin. Great album. If you've never heard it, go listen to it. Amon Amarth versus the World. Excellent album. I had the CD of Morbid Angel's Heretic album with me overseas. Love that album. Beneath the Hollow is just such a good damn song off that album. Man, yeah, I had some good stuff with me, and then of course I had to have a little black metal with me. I had Gorgoroth's Twilight of the Idols album because that's a fantastic album. We had a whole mix of stuff between a lot of guys. There was some Entombed in there. Goat whore, fucking yeah, all kinds of stuff. I was like in the group of like metalheads, you know. So like we listen to metal. We didn't listen to like we didn't listen to like new metal or any of that, you know, radio play stuff. At least with me and like my little circle of dudes that were like the big audiophiles and metalheads, like we listen to death metal, extreme metal, and like all that stuff. Good old metalcore, old metalcore and stuff, black metal, all that. Yeah. Stuart, the frack tea must flow. Yes, yes. I appreciate the recommendation. I gotta check them out. And I'll hit them up, see if they do that kind of thing. So thank you, I appreciate it, man. Thank you. Trying to get my camera to not be stupid here. The frack tea must flow. Damn, 15 minutes left. Awesome. 72 Bank, do you think drones will be utilized by Western militaries in the same way as they've been used in Ukraine? Yes, they've full board developing programs. Apart from what we already use with, you know, Reaper drones, MQ-9s, and like everything else for ISR and tactical strikes and everything else, like we absolutely, both military and the private sector have programs developed and in place, and then further development and everything again with and production. I mean what's it called? Not the katana. I don't know. The one small munition drone that we have that we gave some to Ukraine to test. Our military is using those. Yeah, it's full integration already. It's happening. Yeah. They will be used as assets in force, even more than what we already have. 72 Bank, as I haven't seen much of them be used in the same manner, for instance, detaching AKs and drones. Yeah, I don't think that's going to be so much of it. I mean, you see what's happening with the was it the Dragonfly drones where they're putting the thermite grenades and just spraying it across. That's a Geneva checklist, you know, item. But that's happened. And I mean, but no, I mean, just kinetic explosive and explosive munition drones absolutely are made and implemented into programs already. 762 Bank, have you ever get your hands on an L85? Yes. We trained with the Brits for 2 weeks, almost 3 weeks when I was in. Interesting rifle, not a great rifle though. And they're heavy. It's kind of surprised me how heavy they were for a bullpup. They have their problems. And that's actually why you're seeing the British military is slowly switching over to a AR M16 M4 style platform rifle now. Geisley and Enfield have contracts with the UK Ministry of Defence to start making AR platform rifles for their military now. Seen the updated version of L85A3? No, they were still A2s when the last time I got my hands on them. So yeah, it's been a while, but yeah, not great. I mean, they're a cool concept and stuff, but it just poorly executed and it just does not function well. So, but yeah, that's right. Glock. Yeah, Glock as well. Yeah, they almost got the Glock rifle. You think it costs, for cost reasons, never got the green light. Yep, correct. Yeah, the Glock rifles were expensive. Even the Geisley ones are a little more expensive, but they're getting a good price on them, I guess, with their contract bidding and acquisitions, how that all goes. There's a couple of companies that are making them now for the UK. So, and then France, they've retired the FAMAS. They're going to HK416s. Other militaries like Norwegian Army and like all them, they all use HK416s, which piston-driven rifle, AR platform piston-driven rifle, peak. Fantastic. Most reliable you're going to get in the field. So that's cool to see. So, yeah, that's good stuff. Favorite handgun, 762 Bank. Favorite handgun and CCW. CCW a Glock. That's as far as a modern striker fire handgun goes. That is my go-to Glock. M&P Smith & Wesson M&P 2.0s are fantastic pistols as well. I like those quite a bit. So those for striker fire, those are my two favorites. Tried and true and reliable, and also newer generation, the 2.0, extremely reliable as well, and a very good pistol, very comfortable ergonomically to hold and shoot. Yeah, like those. Hammer fire, 1911, and then your Browning high power. Got to go with the tried and trues there. Great pistols, nothing wrong with them. I don't mind the 92, the Beretta 92s either. And I've had some time on those in the past. A little bit heavier pistol, but they shoot good. Those are good pistols. So yeah, those five pistols are definitely my top favorite pistols. And then yeah, for CCW Glock, got to go with Glock. I wouldn't bash like M&P Shield or a Bodyguard either. Those are good pistols as well to CCW, but I'm a Glock guy, so Glock. I run a Glock 23 Gen 5, so it's a great pistol. Damn, all right. About just under 10 minutes left in the live stream. This is awesome. You guys have been on point with topics and questions. Fantastic. Yeah, did you ever see any tanks while you were driving downrange? Just our Abrams. When I was in the Army, 3rd Infantry Division is a very large division, and we have a large motor pool that includes tanks. The Bradleys and Abrams. Yeah, that's all I saw. Everything else with these are destroyed or not in my areas. So like doing the boom boom. No, never not besides the training range for being around tanks specifically like Abrams. Never out in the field today did we have them. We had our Bradleys put in some work here and there. But that's a different platform, but Bradleys are okay. Not necessarily the most fun to ride around in for long periods of time, but if you know, you know. But otherwise, pretty cool vehicle. Stuart, drone tech around here is nuts. Pretty sure they're dialing in a laser system to take them out in flight. I mean, I wouldn't put it past them. I mean, Navy now has laser weapon systems, countermeasure systems on their ships. At least some of them. And yeah, they're meant for electronic warfare, as well as kinetic countermeasures to take down missiles and potentially aircraft and drones and things like that. They were able to take down missiles in the testing with them, so they could absolutely take drones down with them. So, yep, Raytheon does have a TrackMano version. Yep. Substitute bag, dang, no challengers. No. I saw a Challenger again in training grounds. I saw a Challenger in the UK, but not downrange. They're a pretty cool tank. Even though like the European with the German Leopards, I mean those are cool tanks too. My favorite light infantry vehicle, European one is the CV90, the Swedish CV90. Man, that's a cool vehicle. Cooler version of a Bradley in a lot of ways. Substitute Bank, have you seen that Spec Ops may be involved with Jalisco Cartel? Insofar as fighting them or people being involved like on their side? Because I've heard of dudes going rogue or that have gotten out and have gone down to get paid to train the cartels. And so far as operations against the cartels along the border and just over into Mexico side, yes, those have happened. But you'll never hear about them. Yes, Spec Ops have done that, and some private sector entities affiliated with Spec Ops and stuff have been involved with doing that. Everything from tunnel raids to other things. Substitute bank, like on the inside. Yeah. I've heard of a couple of cases, Spec Ops dudes going down to and getting paid to train cartel guys. That has happened before, and I think there's one or maybe two instances of it happening in the last like 5 years. So it happens. What happens to those guys after? I mean, they're blacklisted. You know, they've got to hang with those guys now. They can't come back, obviously, because they're going to get in a lot of trouble if they do. So, you know, they've made their bed, now they got to lie in it. You know. 762 Bank. Ever fired an AT4? Yes. Or any RPG like weapons? I have fired an AT4 as well as an RPG, and the updated version of the Law rocket. Never went to javelin school because we have a 2 week it's 2 week school, 2 or 3 weeks, I can't remember. There's a 2 week school for javelins specifically, so I never got training on them, or your guys' N Law. I never got trained on them because they're kind of similar. But that other stuff, yeah, I've shot all those. They're cool. The laws that we have are the little guys, you know, pull it out, and those are cool. AT4s are pretty cool. RPGs, I mean, tried and true. It's old school, even though they're like more modern versions of them. I mean, they're pretty cool. They're not terribly accurate, but they're pretty cool. Yeah, they're crazy, man. I would have liked to have shot an N-Law. That would have been really cool, but that would have taken a little bit more time. It would have taken like an extra week to do some cross training with that stuff, and again, I never went to javelin school either, so because you have to get trained on the clue system and, you know, all that stuff and how that all works and everything, and they're very expensive. Yeah, I think a single javelin's like $100,000, so they take a while to make too. N-Laws aren't cheap either. Those are pretty expensive systems too. AT4s, which funny enough are Swedish made. Oh, they're made in the US too, but it's Swedish design. I think those like $18,000 a piece or something like that. And then the old school Law, the smaller Law, the modern version of those, I think those are probably about $8 or $10,000 a piece as well. So something like that. Yep, they're expensive. And I say those monetary values as far as like what the actual cost and provision is to the military, you know. As far as like an outside market, whether it's in a arms bazaar in the middle of Mogadishu or Pakistan, or a legitimate acquisition, you know, with the right licensing and permits and everything, with the ATF and whatever as a destructive device here stateside, those prices are going to vary wildly. So I'm just giving the monetary figures for what the military says they cost per unit. So 2 minutes left in the live stream. 762 Bank. Thoughts on the botched withdrawal of Afghan in 2021? Absolute mess. Disgrace. Cost unnecessary lives. Caused a crisis with unvetted immigration to a degree. A lot of issues. I was contracted. I was still with Triple Canopy at the time, and I was on I was working in a domestic contract, but I was still also on a global deployment emergency response team for them. And when it all went down, we contacted, you know, our leadership in the company and all the you know, everything, and we're talking back and forth and stuff, and we're like, hey, we're ready to go. We're gonna go in. We're gonna support. We're gonna help hold this down, secure things, help get our people out, help get our equipment out and everything. State Department orders came out to all contractors to leave, and no one else was allowed in from the private sector side officially for that stuff. Now, some independent NGOs and stuff like that, there was people doing things with the Pineapple Express network and all that. But as far as formally contracted and all that, we weren't allowed. And our companies lost a lot of money because they left a lot of equipment behind. Everything from up armored, level 5, level 7 package up armored land cruisers to arms and munitions, everything. Personnel, electronics, paperwork, and personnel that includes people and dogs, like all that stuff was told, grab it and get out. And they left everything else. So I'm not happy about that whole situation on a personal level, but also just the administration and what happened and how things happened and Andrew Vargas's testimony and everything. It's just utterly infuriating. It really is. It's heartbreaking and infuriating at the same time. So that's really my thoughts about it. I'm going to answer these couple of questions that you just posted here, and then I'm going to call it for my live stream. Yeah. So that's how I feel about that. 72 Bank, were there any former SAS guys at Triple Canopy when you were downrange? Yeah, we had a couple. And then they were also working for a couple of other companies out of the UK, Aranis, Aegis, and a couple of other companies that we worked alongside and stuff. Outstanding dudes. I love those guys. Consummate professionals, very good at what they did and what they do. Great guys, really are. Yeah, I gladly would work with or alongside those guys anytime. There was another company called Trojan Group that I trained with that was founded by former SAS and Israeli Special Forces guys. That was some of my early on training after I got out of the military and getting into contracting and trained with them for a little bit. Still have the training book that they gave me. Excellent instructors. So getting taught the American way, the UK way, and the Israeli way all together was actually really beneficial because I can combine different practices, mindsets, thoughts, tactics, drills, like all that stuff. Really, really, really good programs. Really good guys. Just can't say nothing but good things about them all. So really good stuff. 62 Bank, yeah, a lot of good Afghans who wanted to see change got killed. Yep, it's extremely sad. And the ones who were working with us to try and fight for their country, a lot of them tucked tail and ran. Mad props to the Northern Alliance, the Panjshir guys, Masood and all those guys for doing what they're doing, keeping up the fight and taking it to the Taliban. I love those guys. They're great. I wish we would support them more. Is what it is. 72 Bank. Love these live streams. Missed past 2 or 3, I think. Yeah. No, I'm glad you were able to pop back in. I know it's been a minute. Time differences and all that. I'm glad you popped in, man. I appreciate it. Thank you. Great conversation, questions, everything. Like, I appreciate it, man. And Stuart, good to catch you live. Rock on, y'all. I think that's a good note to leave on. With that, that will be the end of this month's Q&A live stream. I appreciate everyone that came in. And all of the great topics of discussion and questions and everything else. It was awesome. Excellent continued support from everyone, and I appreciate it. Brendan, thanks for piping in at the very last minute here. Again, if you're on Instagram, Frac T Camouflage or Frac T Camo, go reshare one of the camo patterns that you like. Tag gear companies, textile mills, and whatever, and be like, I want to see you guys make stuff with these patterns. That is one of the greatest things that you can do to help my business and moving forward with licensing and getting production to widespread manufacture and distribution so everyone can use it. So again, appreciate everyone. Thanks for tuning in. And with that, metal up. Out.